The son of a barrister and one of 9 children, Arthur Cutten was born on Paisley Street in Guelph.
He was ambitious and aspired to great things. He felt that Guelph at the time was too small of a town to serve his ambition, and so when he was old enough to, he left for the US. He finds himself as a young man trading at the Chicago Stock Exchange. Now, Cutten is what you call a bull trader. He buys wheat and he holds on to it. He doesn't respond to market fluctuations. He's not a nervous trader. He's a man of few words, but he does write an article in 1928 for Time magazine explaining his philosophy as a speculator. And this gets him into trouble the following year because in October of 1929, there's a stock market crash. It's the largest stock market crash in history at that point, and it triggers the Great Depression. And one of the major causes of that stock market crash is over-speculation. And so speculators like Cutten are brought under scrutiny by the United States federal government. He actually has to testify before Congress because he's caught with all these holdings of under 500,000 bushels that are in the names of other people. So he's disguising exactly how much wealth he has and how much stock holdings he has. And so he has to be called to task for that. He's also eventually charged with tax evasion. And by the time he dies in 1936, the sum of money that the United States authorities believes that he has not paid correctly comes to the tune of $1.2 million. There are several reasons why Cutten is one of Guelph's most famous sons. In addition to being one of the richest men in the world in his time, he was a major benefactor to the city. He bought this home, for example, on Stewart Street for his siblings. He made donations to Woodlawn Cemetery that helped set up the Woodlawn Cemetery Board. He helped establish and fund the YMCA in its early days in the city, as well as donate the Cutten Club. It is alleged that he might have lost as much as $50 million in the 1929 stock market crash. Remember, he's a bull trader, so he's got nerves of steel and he believes in hanging on until market recovery. And with his issues of tax evasion, some of these donations, a cynic might say, were to avoid having to pay out tax or to try to disguise some of the money that he actually has in his possession, especially this donation that comes in 1931. It's believed that he might have hid it as much as $90 million here somewhere at the golf course. It's alleged that it's inside the walls of the Cutten Club itself, although I imagine that's not true. Having lost as much as $50 million in the stock market crash in 1929 and unable to foot the $1.2 million tax bill that the Americans placed upon his family at his death upon his death in 1936, Cutten was only worth about $350,000.
Arthur Cutten shows that history is all around us. It's in our communities, it's on the streets that we live. The change that people like Cutten brought, we can only learn by learning their stories.